Welcome to SATV News. This is Tusha Amin with the headlines. Government to start work on Tista Barrage project alongside Podda Barrage, announces Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Newly appointed DMP chief vows zero tolerance against crime. No offender would be spared based on political or social identities, says Moslesuddin. 4 sentenced to death over Army officer Tanjim murder, 9 to face lifetime imprisonment. Now in details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has announced that government will start work on Tista Barrage project alongside Podda Barrage. He made this remark today after laying the foundation stone of the National Institute of Disaster Management Research and Training building in Ghazipur. The ceremony was held around 2 p.m. Disaster Management and Relief Minister Asadul Habib Dulu, State Minister M. Iqbal Hossain, Secretary Saidur Rahman Khan and senior officials were present on the occasion. After laying the foundation stone, the Prime Minister released fish fry into a pond on the institute premises and also planted a tree sapling. The institute will be built on around 8 acres of land in the Dhorpara area. It will include an administrative building and residential facilities for trainees. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has claimed that the people of the country will never bring Jamaat-e-Islami to power. He also added that Jamaat took a stand against independence in 1971. Mirza Fakhrul made these remarks at a reception after visiting the abandoned airport in Thakurga. He said a group is spreading propaganda against the BNP over the July Charter. They are doing politics in the name of religion and telling lies, added the LGRD minister. At the same time, the BNP Secretary General claimed that the government has already started working to implement the promises made before the election. He further said that various development programs, including family cards and agricultural cards, have already been launched. Health Minister Sardar MD Shakhawat Hossain has expressed discontentment over the 17-year-long corruption, irregularities and mismanagement in the country's healthcare sector. The Health Minister visited Khulna Sodor Hospital without any prior announcement in the morning. During the visit, he said that looting has been done in the healthcare sector in the name of unplanned projects and purchases for years. He also commented that the common people have been deprived of the desired health care. The health minister also said that urgent steps are being taken to improve the quality of services by eliminating irregularities and mismanagement in the health sector. He further assured of taking effective initiatives to resolve the crisis in hospital management, medical equipment and manpower. A fire broke out at Khulna Medical College Hospital and was brought under control by the fire service, which deployed 10 units to the scene and extinguished the blaze after about an hour of operation. The incident occurred earlier today on the 4th floor of the hospital building. According to fire service and hospital authorities, smokes and flames were suddenly seen on the 4th floor while patients were asleep in the early hours, causing panic inside the hospital. Fire service personnel quickly rushed to the scene after being informed. One after another, 10 units joined the firefighting operation and the fire was fully brought under control by morning. No immediate casualties have been reported. Fire Service Assistant Director Ghazi Masood said the team began firefighting operations immediately after receiving the alert. He added that the fire is primarily suspected to have originated from an electrical short circuit, although the exact cause and extent of damage are still under investigation. Khulna Medical College Hospital Director Aniul Islam said the fire service has managed to bring the fire under control and efforts are underway to restore normal medical services at the hospital. Dhaka Metropolitan Police will follow a zero-tolerance policy against extortion, mugging, drugs, juvenile gangs, online gambling and cyber fraud in the capital, newly appointed DMP Commissioner Mosliuddin Ahmed said today. He made these remarks while addressing a Meet the Press program held at the DMP Media Center in the capital. The DMP Commissioner warned that no offender would be spared based on political or social identity, saying law enforcement agencies would take strict action against all forms of criminal activities. Referring to the challenges of maintaining law and order in the megacity of nearly 30 million people, he said, mugging, drugs, extortion, juvenile gangs, online gambling, cyber fraud and hacking have emerged as major concerns in Dhaka. To tackle such crimes, the DMP launched a special drive from May 1st, while its cyber unit is being further strengthened to prevent cyber crimes, he said. He also said a newly established digital forensic lab at the Detective Branch Office is expected to enhance investigation capabilities. A Cox's Bazar court has sentenced 4 people to death in the murder case filed over the killing of Bangladesh Army officer Lieutenant Tanzim Sarwar Nirjon in Chakaria. Judge Mohammad Abdul Mansur Siddiqui of the Cox's Bazar Additional District and Session Judge Court 5 delivered the verdict around 12 p.m. today. The court also sentenced 5 accused to life imprisonment, 4 others to 10 years in jail and acquitted 5 people. The death row convicts are Jalaluddin alias Babul, Helaluddin, Muhammad Arifullah and Anwar Hakim. Those sentenced to life imprisonments are Ziabul Karim, Ismail Hussain, Nurul Amin, Nasiruddin and Abdul Karim. The 4 sentenced to 10 years in jail are Muhammad Sadek, Anwarul Islam, Morshad Alam and Shah Alam. The 5 acquitted accused are Abu Hanif, Enamul Haq, alias Totla Enam, MD Enam, Kamal alias Bendi Kamal and Minhajuddin. 2 friends were killed after their motorcycle lost control and crashed into a roadside island in Thakurgaon municipal town this morning. The incident took place around 6 a.m. in the Govindanagar Munshirhat area, confirmed officer in charge of Thakurgaon Sodor Upazila Police Station, Mohammad Munir Hossain. The deceased were identified as Ritik, son of Litan, and Ashik, son of Abdul Mannan, both residents of Mathurapur village under Rohimapur Union of Thakurgaon, Sodor Upazila. Police said the 2 friends were travelling towards Thakurgaon town on a speeding motorcycle when they...
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
opening an open war conflict with them,
testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Viewers, taking a short break, please stay with us.
Really come to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
they will face better projects.
With President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with 2 types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation...
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. The United States lost or suffered damage to 42 aircrafts during the military operation against Iran. A report released by the country's Congressional Research Service said, citing media reports and statement published by the U.S. Department of Defense and Central Command. The report listed fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft, including 4 F-15E Strike Eagle fighter aircraft, 1 E-35A Lightning II fighter aircraft, 1 A-10 Thunderbolt II ground attack aircraft, 7 KC-135 Stratton-Kirk aircraft, 1 E-3 Sentry airborne early warning and control system aircraft, 2 MC-130J Commando II special operations aircraft, 1 H-860W Jolly Green II combat search and rescue helicopter, 24 MQ-9 Reaper medium altitude long endurance uncrewed aircraft, and 1 MQ-4C Triton high altitude long endurance uncrewed aircraft. During a hearing of the House Appropriations
The plan.
Opening an open war conflict with them.
testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
The China-Russia relationship has entered a new stage of greater achievements and faster developments, said Chinese President Xi Jinping on Wednesday during the large group talks with visiting Russian President Vladimir Putin. Xi extended a warm welcome to Putin and all Russian friends attending the talks held at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. Xi pointed out that in recent years, faced with a fluid and turbulent international situation, China and Russia have developed the comprehensive strategic partnership or coordination for a new era on the basis of equality, mutual respect, good faith, and win-win cooperation. Political mutual trust has further deepened cooperation in various areas such as trade and economy, investment, energy, science and technology, people-to-people and sub-national exchanges continues to advance. And the bonds between the two people have grown stronger, he added. The two leaders also signed a joint statement for comprehensive strategic coordination with the Chinese leader, warning that the world faces the risks of regressing to the law of the jungle. Speaking while seated next to Putin, she called on Beijing and Moscow to promote the building of a more just and equitable global governance system. A meeting between the leaders of the world's two biggest economies last week may have lowered tension but achieved no breakthrough. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said during a press conference in Tokyo on Wednesday, raising the stakes for a visit by China's Xi Jinping to Washington later this year. While Xi and US President Donald Trump did not agree in Beijing to extend a fragile trade truce that expires later this year, Trump heaped praise on the Chinese leader and invited him to visit Washington in September. Guterres has meanwhile previously warned that UN faces imminent financial collapse due to unpaid dues, largely from the United States, the world's top contributor. Those debts across peacekeeping and regular budgets amount to more than $3 billion, Guterres said, adding that he would continue to insist Washington pays due and not ask countries like China and Japan to make up for shortfalls. Israel moved closer on Wednesday to snap election after lawmakers gave an initial nod to dissolve parliament, with opinion polls showing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would lose the first national vote since 2023 Hamas attack. Lawmakers voted almost unanimously for an early bailout in a preliminary reading of a bill to disband the 120-seat Knesset. If it receives final approval, a process that could take weeks, Israel could hold on elections several weeks ahead of an October 27 deadline. Netanyahu's own coalition submitted the bill to dissolve parliament after an ultra-Orthodox faction, traditionally close to the Israeli leader, accused him of failing to deliver on a promise to pass a law exempting their community from mandatory military service. some 110 members of parliament voted in favor of the bill to dissolve, with no opponents or abstentions. 7 Palestinians were wounded early on Wednesday in Israeli air and artillery strikes that targeted a house and a gathering of civilians in Gaza City. The attack came as Israel continued violating the ceasefire in place since October 2025. Israeli shelling and gunfire have killed 880
supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
With President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's
Poland defense minister said no decision have been made to reduce the number of American troops in the country, and recent US moves may only temporarily delay their deployment after meeting US Vice Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff Christopher Mahoney on Wednesday. US Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters on Tuesday a US troop deployment to Poland had been delayed, but it was not accurate to say the troops were being withdrawn from Europe. Poland was earlier alarmed by reports the Pentagon had cancelled plans to deploy 4,000 US troops in the country. Officials tried to reassure Poles that this was not the case. Earlier this month, the Pentagon said it would withdraw 5,000 troops from NATO ally Germany, in part due to a widening rift between US President Donald Trump and Europe linked to the Iran conflict.
Więc dlatego ta odpowiedź tak ważna dla nas i oświadczenie Pentagonu, że czasowo.
The European Union struck a provisional agreement on Wednesday on legislation to remove import duties on US goods, a key part of the trade deal reached with Washington in July, and a move likely to advert higher US tariffs on EU products. Under the terms of the deal struck at US President Donald Trump's Turnberry Golf Resort in Scotland last July, the EU agreed to remove import duties on US industrial goods and grant preferential access to US farm and sea produce, while the US imposes tariffs of 15% on most EU goods. Nearly 10 months since the framework accord, the European Parliament and the Council, the body representing EU governments, agreed on a legislative text to allow the EU duty reductions to come into force. After 5 hours of negotiation, they also agreed reinforced provision to suspend the concession in case Trump reneges on the agreement, and a sunset clause to terminate the deal at the end of 2029, unless there is a new legislation to renew it. International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi on Tuesday warned that a direct hit on UAE's Barakah nuclear power plant could result in a very high release of radioactivity following a drone strike near it. Grossi told a United Nations Security Council meeting called to discuss the attack that the strike threatened the nuclear safety of the UAE and caused great concern throughout the Gulf. The United Arab Emirates said on Tuesday that 6 drones have been launched against it from Iraq in the past 48 hours, including one that caused a fire at a nuclear power plant in the Gulf state on Sunday. The UAE's defense ministry said in a statement that it had intercepted all but one of the drones. It said 3 in total had been targeting Barakah nuclear power plant, which is the Arab world's first commercial nuclear power station. After that drone strike, the UAE's Federal Authority for Nuclear Regulation said the plant remained safe and no radioactive material had been released due to the attack. Two Japanese nationals and a Chinese national were injured in a knife attack at a restaurant in Shanghai on Tuesday by a person with a mental disorder, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said on Wednesday. The injured were taken to hospital and the suspect has been apprehended, Ministry spokesperson Guo Jaikun said during a regular news conference. Emphasizing that it was an isolated public security incident, Guo said investigations are ongoing and the Chinese authorities would handle it in accordance with the law. Now sports. Bangladesh have sealed a historic home test series win over Pakistan after handling the visitor a 78-run defeat in their second test in Sirlet. Spinner Taijul Islam took 6 wickets to lead the spirited home side series win on the 5th day of the match on Wednesday. Pakistan, who started the day on
White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital. Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantho.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really?
Government to start work on Tista Barrage project alongside Podda Barrage, announces Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Newly appointed DMP chief vows zero tolerance against crimes. No offender would be spared based on political or social identity, says Musliuddin. And 4 sentenced to death over Army officer Tajneem murder. 5 to face life imprisonment. You are updated so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.